and I'm gonna wait for it to come on the. Okay, we're live. Hey folks, I am Snuffleupagus. You are watching another incredible League of Dracula 2024 game. Tonight we have uh, Terminus playing Dracula, and he is being hunted by Strider656 playing the Dracula Hunters. We're in the knockout phase of this tournament, so everyone needs to survive in advance or be knocked out. Uh, Basically, the tournament for good. Um, so with me, we have a great crew. We have Pizzawizard and Fangs of Fire both
Hello.
joining me in the commentators booth. You guys want to say hello?
Hey there, guys. It's been quite a busy day. I mean, at this point, I know, having streamed so many of the games, that 3 out of 4, uh, of the remaining quarterfinalists have been settled. This is the only one left, as of when this video has been streamed compared to the others. But I won't go spoiling the results, unless people in the chat ask me to.
Sounds good.
I mean, 2 of them have been announced already, but
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
chances are they already know about one, but possibly 2. But in truth, not even in Scott's or knows yet about the third one.
We have yeah, part of me wants to announce it, but I figured we can probably just focus on this matchup. We have an
Yeah,
interesting start here with uh Pizza Wizard's own
He's a
start, it
man
looks
after, yeah,
like.
he's a man after my own heart, this Strider. He's playing my start. Unfortunately, I have to root against him today because I really want Terminus to win because he is a newcomer. He's done really well to make it to this top 12, and he has a great attitude. And you might think I'm saying he has a great attitude because I can't say anything good about his gameplay. That's not true. He just really does have a really good attitude and has good gameplay. And I'm excited to see him play today and beat Strider, even if he's using my setup, even if he's doing.
Yep, I
I
feel
mean,
you.
what if it ends up being an Amsterdam start? Then they'll
That
both
would
be
be
using your
great.
setup.
I love it. Problem is, my setup does kind of counter Amsterdam a little bit because Seward can get there a day quicker, but it could still be good. You know, Amsterdam is still strong, still fine.
I think
In
Terminus has
any
been
event,
Terminus has been
this is
experimenting quite a bit, and he's gonna have to be very. I guess one thing that he has here is that he knows Mina has already drawn newspaper reports, so whatever happens, he is going to be revealed uh, on day 5, basically, or whenever the
Mm-hmm.
fifth
yeah.
card slot is set.
Let's see how he handles that situation. Uh, yeah, I in particular have a little bit more a little bit more personal interest because these two are determining between the two of them which of them will get to face off against me in the quarterfinals.
Mm.
Uh,
That is exciting, so you get to scope out the competition a little bit.
so yeah,
Right now, it looks like there's only 2 people in the live chat, and I think one of them is just me watching the chat
The
on
other
my
one's
phone.
me, so that's
So,
I
but
tend
if
to keep it open
anyone
just.
is watching this that's not us, say hello and comment in the chat.
There's like
Um,
two schools of thought here, right? You have the newspaper, you have this day 1 encounter. As Dracula, do you misdirect it or do you leave it up? Or that probably depends a little bit on where you are, but I feel like there's arguments for both sides. Both sides.
uh, I would still misdirect as that creates more mystery as to where you went after. Uh,
I agree with that.
and it will misdirect sometimes even if it's revealed. Uh, like
Well,
if
I
I
mean, if
get
there's a chance you move back there, I suppose.
yeah, it gives you maximum obscurity, which well
Terminus does a lot of Eastern starts. He's also become somewhat partial recently to the Ireland start. He's used that relatively
Hmm.
recently. As a newer
That's a new
player,
one.
he's quickly become known for being studious and trying to kind of like really learn the best strats from everyone he plays. He's very communicative after talking about his game and what he might do to improve with every single game, whether he wins or loses. So super cool in that way. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to
Uh,
see if he uses one of those two approaches or if he tries something new. Um, it'd be hard for Strider to guess as well because of that. In terms of like hired scouts locations, because there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of game footage of Terminus to watch, and his game is still evolving very rapidly. So what he did yesterday may not be what he does today. So we'll see if that ends up mattering. If there's any early hired scouts or not, it may not end up mattering. But either way, excited to see how this all goes.
yeah, I doubt that he would have done an Ireland start with Stewart at Bordeaux. Personally,
Yeah, I do think that my setup beats back a little bit on the Ireland thing. I do think that the weaknesses of my setup, I think an Eastern start, like you said, could be really good stuff. I think that if he's maybe been looking to try a Spanish start, this is probably the best Spanish start setup he's going to go against. Given that Stewart's not in Madrid, I could see either East or Spain very easily. Yeah, that either of those would make sense to me. By the way, nice to see you, Aruk. It's
Hey,
going good
Rook,
for me.
welcome to the chat. You,
uh,
I was very excited to see how well the latest Keeping You Company video went. Thank you so much for doing that. I had so much fun chipping into that.
This Keeping You Company video, which is on Scottsword's channel right now, which anyone who sees this VOD should go check because it's a great video that Snuff and Rook and Scottsword put a lot of work into, and I'm sure they'd appreciate it if you would check it out.
There you go. I think it's Keeping You Company number 13, maybe? Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah, especially Lucky in Fury of Dracula World. That's Drac's number. Oh, Mina's got a knife now. She had a gun
Mm-hmm.
before.
She gained that yesterday. Unless she's discarded the pistol today, she still has it.
that happened, I think, after a trade. With Gul'daming.
Mhm.
I think.
So I guess. Yeah, yeah, I think that's right.
Looks like he subscribes to your school of thought about the misdirect, though.
Yes. Yep. So I think the
Or he
this
was in a spot that he had to, like he went Valona Athens or something. But go ahead, Stuff.
yeah, I think you're right. Your particular start, you're right. The weakness is maybe Spain, um, or maybe southern Italy. But the thing about Spain is it can be quite powerful if Stewart can't get there. Like if you have like a bats in Madrid or something, and he has to land in Madrid to get to whatever the first space is, or maybe if it's like a hoax or something, and then you can't guess what the next one is, you might get an early mature that way. That can be quite helpful. Rufus, if it is a Spanish start, Rufus is going to be quite helpful.
Edinburgh.
Uh,
England.
Interesting. Checking whether
well,
it was an England start.
I will
Uh,
say it is
that
as I learned from
that
the
type.
Keep You Company British quiz video. It is never Edinburgh. It is always Edinburgh. Not to be too pedantic or anything, but just because we're talking about
Are you one of those Sophia places? You're gonna start advocating for Sophia too?
no, I'm only bringing it up because we
There.
were talking about the excellent Keeping You Company videos, which are the culture quizzes, and in the
Mm.
quiz of Aruk being quizzed on by Scottswood about the UK, Scottswood brought up that you're supposed to say Edinburgh. You're not supposed to say Edinburgh.
It's Plymouth, right? Not Plymouth. Plymouth.
I think it is Plymouth. Oh, Mina discards a Heavenly Hosts. She must be
Ooh, she's got a good hand.
stacked. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, that's not the biggest deal in the world. It'll get reshuffled back in, but I could call that a
Oh, he
small
discarded his
early
newspaper
win.
reports.
Oh,
Wait, what? What did he replace it with?
was there not a? It wasn't like a trade or something.
No, just
Wow.
discarded. She's showing escape route now. I guess she's got. That is a sign for
That seems
Terminus.
to say that he has another one.
He's
It's
got another
signing
one, or
swag
he's
another
got a
one.
really good events. Like he's got Renewed Vigor or CG or something in his hand that he's not willing to discard.
Well, I would have been willing to discard an escape route if that was my only, if that was my only case, and not Ireland.
And not Ireland, no hide.
Haruk guesses Athens.
Mm-hmm. See
Always
now,
a good
I like
guess.
Athens actually. I like an Athens start every now and again. Quite good.
I used it. Was it my game against you? I used it, or
You
no?
definitely played East against me, I think, because I
No, I'm
remember thinking
sorry.
you would play West and then you played East instead. I think it
That
was
was
Varna.
funny. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I did Athens against Geo in my first game, but I don't know. Varna is technically. I guess technically it's not one space further, but in my mind it looks one space further.
Well, it's just that there's no rails, right? So you kind of are forced to either move to 59 or 49 if you want to get there in one day via either 59 sense of emergency or a 49 through a horse. And if you can catch the hunters in 49, it could be quite awesome. Like, let's say Mina horses to 49 to get there the next day, and Dracula is in 49. That's a rough spot for her to be in. But yeah.
Scots tends to pronounce the final TH sound for a F in Plymouth. Plymouth to my ear, but I'm not sure how official
Plymouth,
that is. Interesting. Plymouth.
like earmuff. Plymouth.
Yeah.
Well, the pistols are being thrown away.
Yep.
That's
And the
not
Garlic
all that
Grace.
unusual.
Yep, good riddance, Garlic Grace. We didn't need to see you.
So I'll be honest and say I'm also rooting for Terminus if I haven't said that already. I love Strider. He's like my sparring buddy, good dude all around. Just rooting for Terminus because he's the underdog and the new player, and he's also a
Oh.
very good dude. So with that said, I think it's probably wow. Mina discards
Whoa.
another
There's a
knife.
knife, and
Shit.
Van Helsing traded an event offer, so she wouldn't have discard events again. But
So I think what's going on here is there must be a very lopsided distribution of items. So for that reason, I'm hoping that Terminus is somewhere in the west. Um,
yes, far away from these people, or they've been like keeping stakes and stuff, and then he's not actually near them, right? And then the stakes are a little bit less useful than he would have hoped.
yeah, yeah, I think that's right. So if he is circling around Spain, building up like, like a bats, putting a hoax down, maybe
I
bodyguards.
am. This may sound weird, but I'm somewhat of the opposite opinion. I hope that I think Terminus will be best off if it ends up being somewhere like northern Germany or like the northern half of Italy, because that means that he has the weaker people to go to rather than the stronger ones.
I think
Um,
you just like Germany. I think you just like your Central European starts. But I mean, you're right. It could be
I
good here
do.
if they are weak.
I look at my Dracula record.
yeah,
I've heard just as good as you, Pizza Wizard, in terms of Dracula play.
Look, I love Amsterdam. It's Central Europe. I admit that I love Amsterdam. I shout it from the mountaintop. But I do think you're right that he probably has a second newspaper because I don't think he discards the first one there unless he has a backup.
Yeah, he wouldn't have kept an escape route over it as good as it is with me,
yep, I agree with that. So Terminus needs to be ready to be found here. So does he want a wolf now? Does he want to start moving in a very
I
different
would
direction?
say not don't wolf yet. It kind of depends on where you are, but yep,
There it
there it
is.
is.
Oh.
Salonica.
Hey, almost
Interesting.
Athens. That's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Okay,
Same amount of road
well,
spaces away, except it's nobody hired Scout Salonica, so maybe this was like the smart plays. Like they'll check Athens, they won't check Salonica.
yeah, but the people will often check spots like Sophia that you kind of have to go to next. Salonica is
Long night play. That's interesting.
He's been studying you stuff. He's right. He's gonna make big plays with this long night. Just you wait.
Yeah. Obviously, Long Night is
I
not
suspect
the
he's doing that more to make hand space than
right.
anything else.
You can always discard the Long Night later. My guess is that he's using it because there's some possibility that he might want to use the Long Night effect. Might end up not using it at all. But I could imagine maybe he's thinking, okay, let's start moving towards the east, and maybe use the Long Night to say go to Valona, thinking that maybe
Mm.
Terminus wants to wolf to that port, that is the thing I certainly would do. If I started Salonika, I might make a little loop around the east and then like wolf from Bucharest to Valona, and then get out of there. You
It's a
know?
very interesting point. That's really smart stuff, right? Because one of the problems with it is you can't play it at dusk, or you have to play it during the dawn. So if there's even like a 5% chance you want to use it today, if you're going to discard it anyway, you might as well play it, right? I mean, what's the downside?
Right. And again, Strider might find out that that's not actually a good move. It's certainly a very risky thing to use long night
Because
and
hey,
potentially give a drac card. But you may as well play it now when there's a chance you might want it. You know? And if you don't use it, so be it. This is my thinking.
This is interesting though. They can't get to Salonika without an event, right? It's the same as Varna, where it's 5 railways away. I never really thought about it that way, but it's almost as far away as Varna is. I mean, it pretty much is, right? It's 4 roads or 5 rails, same as Varna. Maybe we've been sleeping on Salonika this whole time.
the
Yeah.
thing the thing with Salonika is that its proximity to Valona means that when you move about, you're more likely to be you're next to more of the more frequently checked spots there. Uh, Therefore, once you leave Salonika, uh, regardless which way you go,
Mystic
uh,
research. So now you
ooh,
can
I
use
would
that
have done
long
that
night if you
later.
want to.
Oh,
I
you can
would.
move to 6 and then rail in.
Huh.
Well, then keep in mind he's only discarding
Okay, he's not.
events.
Okay,
That's
we're
true. He
trading.
doesn't get them. Like it would be a. I think I agree. You probably want to draw whatever it is with Mystic Research, right? You want to draw that card. Although if his events are as strong as they seem to be from his Mina discards, maybe maybe he has all the good events already. But you're right. He probably wants to draw them. If he doesn't, it would feel pretty bad to discard like a CG to a long night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We did just see a trade here. I'm surprised there wasn't a scan, given that Mina and Gummy were moving together. But I have to imagine that there was some very important reason for that trade. So now what does Terminus do? So I do think that based on our
Yes.
discussion here, I do agree that Salonika is probably an underrated start location. The only tricky thing about it is it makes it a little bit harder to get out, I think, to sail out of the east if you start there. Because usually
Hmm
you want
Yeah.
to end at
Yes,
Salonika
and
or end at
also
Valona.
to put your starting counter there, you have to start in a spot that is highly likely to, like, to just be snipe shotted. Uh oh,
He had
wow.
all
Oh,
three
Wow.
newspapers.
wow.
I mean, I don't know if that tells him much.
RV.
Renewed
Wow.
vigor. He really wants this encounter.
Be
Or maybe he's
telegraphed as
gonna
And
try to
well.
speed
maybe he's
telegraph.
gonna try to kill Drac early.
How is he gonna? He could be anywhere. I mean,
That
not anywhere, but he could have gone out through Munich. There's been no like scans or anything. What does he know?
Well, he's gonna do some supplying first. Maybe he can get an early hired scout.
Hmm
See if that does anything. Or an evil presence.
That's true. Evil presence will be really big here. Or local rumors on either Mina or Girling. Although I doubt they're gonna supply. They're probably both gonna double move today if they have horses, which
well, that was
probably
Mina
do.
who's supplied there.
Oh, it's Van Helsing, right?
Or what? Okay, yeah.
I think it was Helsing.
Apparently.
So I presume
Uh,
Seward will do that next.
the way the telegraph just messes you up.
Charter
Okay,
Okay.
he's
carriage.
going to Salonika, right?
I mean,
I don't
I would
know.
I would think so. He wants to be able to day search it, perhaps.
That would make sense.
Worried about a
And
bat or something in
Is he gonna
Sofia to
get
stop
to
him from
day
getting there.
search it? New vamp. Okay, so I guess Terminus is assuming it's stake, which is not unreasonable in this circumstance.
yeah, there is only one stake in discard, and that came off of Van Helsing. So, uh,
He's probably not going to mature this vampire. Do you think he means to move back to Salonika, maybe?
He might. Terminus has been talking with some admiration about Spencer's Lair strat. Terminus, I think, wants to be a more aggressive Drac player, and to some degree is. Let's see what we got. Mesmerizing Escape, very good for Terminus.
yep.
See how much damage he can do here.
Yeah. Hmm.
If he could do 4, I think he'd be pretty happy. Anything more than 4, and you're like, oh, he just like it's a masterpiece if he does more than 4.
Yeah, especially since obviously Goldung does have the stake to kill the thing.
He had plenty of time to, and he's traded right before this. He knew exactly what he was doing with sending this guy in.
Yeah, but here's another thing.
He pots. Oh, nice punch.
Good try. Good try, Terminus. You tried your
Yeah,
best. That was good.
honestly, I was expecting Strider to punch. I played Strider so many times. I know his combat style.
Well, it's just that like 2 damage here for Godalming doesn't mean very much, right? Like Strider's not very afraid of taking the extra 2 for punching there, so he's more
Yeah.
likely to just
Fang.
Okay.
Dodge. Okay.
Interesting.
If that was a reckless, I think I'd really respect that dodge. Against this vampire, I'm a little bit like, huh? Like,
Does he have
he probably has. He
does
might
he
have
have
another
the
attack
stick
card.
after all? Did he do that to absorb the mesmerize?
I mean, he might not have another attack card, right? That would be good if he didn't, but okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right, 2 damage. It's fine.
Typical hunter vamp ambush.
Do
Yeah.
the hunters even stake this thing? Like, do they care about it anymore?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Do they just let it mature so that I can wipe trail?
And if they do let it mature, does Terminus actually mature it? I don't know. 3 points? Yeah.
3 points? Not. I would layer it if it comes to that.
I agree. I think
You need to
probably
buy more
fair here.
time. Your trail needs to buy more time. This is why I typically don't start with a vamp.
Yeah, especially an unrumored one. It's just that you lose so much value. I like that word value. You lose so much value if you mature the vampire right now. But so you
Aruk
could go
thinks
back to spawning.
Aruk thinks it could be intended to be a lair. He's seen Terminus do that before.
Okay, Mina is going to move to Constanta? No, Bucharest. Okay.
Ah.
Well, if he's going to mature the vampire, he should ambush with this encounter. Okay, he's not ambushing with it.
So do we think now? Okay, we
Oh,
Whoa.
he is ambushing with it.
Okay, so now he's gone. Now that's tilting giving the mature a little bit more points in the decision-making process since that one got triggered.
I mean, Strider might stake this and make this whole thing like trivial.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So I wonder now.
Yep.
Just stake it.
And that's what's going to happen.
Okay. So it's possible that Terminus looped around Galatz, or maybe went west here. But it's also very possible that he went east and is hiding in Varna right now, which would be quite dangerous for him. And he's going to have if he is there, he'd have a tough decision to wolf to Valona, walk to, I guess he'd have to Mistrix Sophia to walk to it, which would be quite obvious, or go to Black Sea, which would be a long sea voyage. So hopefully that's not the approach he took, and hopefully he has gone west at least to some degree.
I would wolf form this tournament because that can keep the possibility of Black Sea around. And if you're there, it's your way of getting out without misdirecting. And if you're somewhere else, it's your way of getting further away.
Right.
This is just a good turn for wolf form in general.
I really hope, like you said, Semi's not on the Black Sea coast, because I think he could count out that like he would need to wait one more day before Sophia slides off the trail. So I don't think he did that. I think my tinfoil hat theory here, he's in Belgrade today. He went like 22, 28, 6, and he's gonna move to 49 today. That's my guess. We'll see. Just so he can maybe move back to Sophia tomorrow, or he can go to Bologna. I feel like 49 is actually pretty safe right now, especially since I mean a renewed vigor just went off, and the hunters like got some value off of it. But
yeah, they
Not a ton
spent
of
quite a
value.
few. They did spend. Yeah, that is a good point. They spent quite a few cards getting to that thing.
Yeah, saving themselves from 3 influence. Burning a renewed vigor and a speed telegraph is a lot of cost for that. We'll see if that ends up being
Speed
worth it or not.
telegraph, admittedly, is not as valuable a card. It's good, but
I mean, compared to renewed vigor, I mean, yeah, it's like nothing really stacks up against it.
No, but that combo in particular is quite powerful.
Yes, it is.
As a combo, it's powerful, but like when you compare one to the other, RV is like twice as powerful, I would say,
Sure. I'm
in most circumstances.
Terminus is giving this a lot of thought now. I really, yeah,
Makes me
really.
think he's somewhere west, right?
Okay,
Oh,
there's the
he's
wolf
wolf
form.
forming.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
there he would have had a lot of options if he were like anywhere like Zagreb. Because keep in mind they went by rail to Szeged. Uh, it could be simply Belgrade. That could have been from Zagreb.
okay. Well,
But
the
what if
fact
he?
that Godalming is hitting Sofia means even if he did go east, he's pretty safe now in Valona
Mhm.
or Sarajevo or Belgrade. Worst case scenario, he's actually in an okay spot, I would say. And if this,
Local
oh,
rumors.
not the place you want local
Well,
rumors. If
I
you're
mean, hey, it's not
actually,
terrible.
yes and no, because Cuba. I mean, that rules out both Zurich and Milan as the Wolfform destinations.
That's
Uh,
true.
for if he was at Zagreb's.
It would
So
be
if Strider
better on
keeps that,
filming,
if
but
he keeps that in mind and finds that he Wolfform from Zagreb, well,
that like
that's some
make you
information.
41 or 57 at Nuremberg or Venice essentially, or he went back east, or he like moved to Munich. But that doesn't seem very likely unless he will form from 49, which I could see a 49 will form, like 49 will
Yeah.
form Munich, maybe will form to Athens, threatened will form to 56.
Well, they didn't go to
28,
Klausenberg.
that eliminates quite a bit actually. 28
Yeah, I like that check.
means he either went like 649,
Have it
55.
here. Nice.
Very nice for Terminus, right? Good job not ambushing with that. Now,
Yeah.
again, if he wolfed over Sophia, he's even safer than he was before.
Oh,
Oh, now we'll know.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
I
he
really
did
hope he
not
didn't hit
do
there,
Constantivana. That's pretty good for him. So that means
but
he
he knew it
must
was
have
wax cylinders, right? Oh, go ahead.
gone to Belgrade and then gone
yeah.
either west or
Uh,
south from there.
on to Belgrade. And then, well, they were sitting on Szeged uh, day before yesterday, so he wouldn't have been able to go there. Uh, so he-
49.
so so that we know we know for certain as far as 49. Uh,
May well have been a 59 will form. That looks like the most likely option to me.
yeah, which is pretty good.
Hmm.
And it makes that local rumors important because then the
Yeah.
1637 are actually marked off.
Hmm. He's misdirecting the pre-Wolfhorn
Ooh.
location. I like it.
I don't as much later on. Uh, yeah, yes, but that's one more encounter that they have to deal with, like one more potential hoax or something that they have to deal with before chasing after you.
I mean, every day that he moves Mina and doesn't find anything with Mina, it is wasting his time, right? Like every day that they spend over here, not really like just moving and not hitting anything. That is good for Terminus. He's buying time and he's wasting their day actions.
I wonder if he went to
Obviously on
Prague.
Strider's part, you gotta try, but
I wonder if he like picked the most obscure place he could go and like wolf to Prague because there's a host in the discard. It would be fairly bold,
mm-hmm.
but still
Oh,
not as risky as it normally would be.
oh,
Wow, didn't see
Does
that
Mina have a
coming.
sense of Does Mina have a sense of emergency?
has he bit off more than he can chew here? John Seward is scary. He's a strong guy.
And there was no ambush there, so if Drac tries to escape his bat from here, which would be awesome, he's gonna lose whatever that encounter is.
Let's
A
see
little
what
bit
we
sad that he got
got.
done
So that
after he
misdirect didn't
misdirected.
help at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why he went to Munich after he misdirected. It seems a little bit like doing things that are odd because Munich is fairly high traffic.
Right.
I'm guessing that the Wolfhorn destination was Nuremberg, and after he saw the local rumors down there, he decided to head for those locations. Uh, that'd be my guess.
So Terminus needs to make something of this fight though.
But he could have gone directly from Nuremberg to Zurich in that situation. Yeah,
True.
whatever. Let's see what happens in this combat. Early
Maybe he wants this
Fang.
Fangs
fight.
Oh no.
Oh,
Ooh,
crucifix.
into the
Ouch.
crucifix.
Oof.
Does that hurt him?
Yes, yes, it's
I
Strider. It
think it
does. Strider
does.
knows.
Oh, is trying to type that in the chat. He sometimes does
Does
that.
it?
All right, well,
That
you had
hurts.
your the first round. Let's see what's happening next. Strength.
Right.
Okay. If he just leaves. Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Even.
Yeah.
I imagine that Strat was actually just expecting that and willingly played into that.
Yeah, just a mesmerized. Because a mesmerized turn after you play Crucifix makes a lot of sense, I think.
Claw.
Claw.
Claws.
Oh,
Okay.
escape. Okay.
So a somewhat battered Seward, but
But you did some damage to Drac without losing
Mhm.
any, like a host or anything.
Mhm.
It's probably a
yeah.
net Drac win, but I mean, I'm sorry, net Hunter win, but not
Yeah.
not
Dealt 3
crazy
damage,
either way.
but
And Drac
on the
cannot
other
wolf form
hand,
now.
Could
yeah.
feed there.
Could, but that's Seward. He's gonna heal to 5. No.
Mhm.
And it's hard to, if you're feeding, you want to try to kill Seward, and Seward has a crucifix. And
Now that you know about it, you can play around it, right? Like, I think that just makes plotting and clawing much better now that you know he has Crucifix.
Well, okay. Well, bodyguards at Belgrade.
I think you want to lay more trail for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the very a type of reason why I wouldn't have misdirected it. It's just more trail for them to have to deal with. Yes, that it gives them more clues, but it's a little it's already a little obvious. What you did. So
Right.
it's not the time for obscurity has not yet really come. Uh, at
I think
that
it could have
point.
worked out. I think maybe if his plan was to like go deep stealth mode, maybe Munich was a little bit too high traffic, but I think there's worlds where that play is correct. He knows all the newspaper reports are gone, so the hunters can't just like sit and supply their way out of like there isn't any surety they're gonna find him. But going to Munich, maybe a little bit too high traffic with John Stewart poised to like start heading east.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had any scouts yet, apart from Rufus. I disagree with that
What do
rumor
you think?
token.
Oh, with the rumor token.
Yeah, and it may get them a little bit distracted from chasing after you. So I suppose I kind of get it.
If it's a fake rumor, I kind of wouldn't mind it.
He does have an extra rumor token because he didn't place one in the first week.
Like, let's say it's a wolf to like Venice or something, and there's like a fog there. That could be effective, or a vamp or something. Um, I don't know.
Ditching the crucifix.
If ever a hoax goes off, which is at this point unlikely, uh, there the one thing that Mystic Research discovered was some storm, so there's going to be something that is reasonably powered in there.
Going to Marseille probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's you had to do
So
that this turn.
now, so now if you went to Geneva, so now if you went to Zurich, I go to Geneva this turn. Uh,
Yeah, this is not a great spot. Like, just that fight with Seward didn't really get you very much, unfortunately. Because he
the
heals
horse.
twice as fast, right? Like, he'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what he put on Munich that he wouldn't ambush with. You know?
Hmm.
Oh, William is Weircat, right?
Yes. We're craft.
Warcraft. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Long
The
day.
werecat.
Long day,
Rawr.
long night. Hello, Warcraft.
Saber. Yeah, Seward's at 7 again. Why
Yep.
is he so good? Why is he so good? Hmm. Is there any world where he like wolf formed a 58? Like I'm trying to figure out why he went to Munich because I feel like if he was in 41, he would have gone to like I don't know, 30 or 21 instead. Maybe 51 if he was feeling like he wanted to go east. The 38 makes me feel like maybe he wolf formed somewhere that he didn't have a lot of great options. Like maybe he like wolf formed like sneaky to 58 or
There,
something weird.
there is actually the option that he went to Bologna and he wolf formed to Zagreb, and that's why
Mm.
he was there then.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
Because at that point you don't really want to move back into the east. Like you don't want to move to 11. So then 38 might be your best option from there.
Yeah, maybe he
Hmm.
was originally
Yeah.
thinking he would go to C, but realized that the hunters didn't know what his trail looked like at that point and didn't want to give it away by going to C then, so he wolf formed. That would make a lot of sense, actually. That actually make a ton of sense.
Because it would be nice if
Yeah.
these hunters like go to Nuremberg and his rumor token isn't actually there and they like waste their movement going there, and or maybe they go to Venice and it's not there either. It's like that would be cool if the hunters start like moving to spots where they think it is because
Yeah,
those are the
that is
optimal
a way in which
locations.
the misdirect may very well pay off.
And actually,
If
that
that is in fact the case.
and you know, what
Uh,
if Munich is a bat, but he didn't want to send Seward moving with it, right? He wants to wait for someone weaker,
Mm.
like two-item Godalming or permanently weakened bitten Mina, to get hit with a bat and then get batted on to say a Vamp and Zagreb. That would make
And he could even
sense.
hide somewhere. Like he could hide in Zagreb, and it wouldn't. The wax cylinders wouldn't really matter because hopefully he'd like trigger the trap before the wax cylinders would reveal him that night. Okay,
Ooh, that kind of says he's in Venice under fog.
yeah, that reads Venice.
yeah,
And it's
that's
sufficiently early that there might not be a forewarned.
Or a second renewed vigor. Like if he can bait a second renewed
and
vigor and it doesn't get him,
considering how it
Ah,
looks
okay,
as
that
if
must
I
have been
put the
it.
nail right on it. Yeah,
Now, what does Godalming have?
doesn't have a second stake probably.
Now, hmm.
John Seward, not a fan of the crucifixes. He's discarded both of them at this point. They're both gone. Huh.
Now, if you are hiding under fog in Venice, charge
hard
carriage.
carriage all the way to Vienna.
To Venice? Hmm?
Does he ever forewarned? Is that why?
I mean, Van Helsing is not exactly a person you should pick a 1v1 with.
Okay,
He's going for it.
but
Well,
if he doesn't have a, or maybe it's a heroic leap, and he wants to bait the fight. Interesting.
unfortunately, he only has one event because he can't do both. Wait, has there been no ambush?
No
Is it
ambush.
ambush declined? Okay.
Maybe he just thinks that these hunters are not that well supplied, so Terminus is willing to take the fight and make them search these things. That might be Terminus'
They,
approach.
I mean, possibly, but also, it, I mean, also he may just want, like, I don't know. I suppose the ambushing with fog wouldn't have had much effect because Mina was hardly gonna get in. Uh,
I like this quite a
because
bit. Yes, Terminus.
Yep, that's what you
Yes.
want.
because
Because Helsing, you don't want to bite him, you want to kill him. And that is half the battle right there, is getting that claw in.
yep,
Well played.
I mean, an escape is back here would be a lot better than the one in Munich because he would get his feedback
Yeah.
instead of he wouldn't lose any trail in economy at all. It'd be amazing.
yeah.
You could bat to Rome, you could bat to Marseille. You could bat to Marseille, then move one space and then feed again.
I personally would go with back to I would personally go with back to Zurich, then move to Strasbourg. Uh,
Could do that. A lot of different approaches
I,
that would be effective if you can escape as bad here. But you need to keep Housing this fight one more turn.
I feel like there's a gun coming out from Van Helsing this turn.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
right.
He's scared of the claw. He's
and
scared of the claw. He didn't want to get clawed
Terminus
twice.
Terminus
got
read
it.
that as well.
Nice. So now what?
Yeah,
Do
this
you mesmerize? Do you What do you do? Do you try to kill him here with a fang or another claw? Do you try to escape his
I
bat?
We know he doesn't have knife, right? Because all the knives are accounted for. He could have more guns. He probably has a heavenly host. Uh, Calling here is risky because he could have another gun. I kind of like the fang. Oh,
Ooh,
and
dodge.
okay,
dodge.
Okay.
Okay,
that's fine.
yeah. That's he's now used one of each form of attack.
I like that. I feel like as soon as you play two of the same card, right, they don't have to worry about that card anymore. So now Strider still has to think about all three combat cards that could be played against him. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, equal probability for each.
Another
And
fang.
again,
An
He's
escape.
gonna.
and
Alright, is there a great strength?
There's not. And he
no.
heals
There is
two off the
not.
kill.
So he will back
Wow.
up the pole.
Very well played for Terminus.
Yeah, well done.
Well, the situation suddenly doesn't look so bad at all.
Yeah, and if that is a fog that he didn't trigger, man, oh man. Like, you're building that trail back up.
The only downside is that the other hunters are very close, and if they have the second Runic Vigor, then you could be in a bit of a pickle.
Strider prides himself on being on playing combats very well, so I think he's a little bit disappointed about how that went, probably.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He's still got plenty of chances here. Van Helsing's going to spawn in Rome, so that will at least like maybe make him not want to go into Italy because Van Helsing will be right there.
And he can't try to plan for that by like wolfing to Rome so that Helsing walks into him when he gets out of the hospital. Um, by the
It's
time,
on the trail.
because the wolf was already on the trail, yeah. So, so I think here you go to Genoa, right? Probably,
Um,
or
uh,
maybe I mean Genoa or Milan.
hmm,
You could go Florence. I would not go Florence here. It's a CG nuke spot.
And
well,
you wouldn't get
one
nuked.
there's a heavenly host already in the discard, and it Van Helsing may well be discarding another, and if that is the case, then they can't even force you back. Then the best they can do is to force you to either misdirect your Venice spot or go to Genoa. Uh,
I think you just go west and assume that with Helsing dead, you may have some improved movement relative to the hunters. Maybe he drops a white one, for instance,
a horse
and he drops
bullet.
a horse. You start creating some
The
distance, I think.
I
That
think the
rifle
big
was
gain
his
is this
only
event card,
weapon.
honestly. We don't know what it was. It wasn't a combat event because he would have used it, and he had no intention of Van Helsing dying. I mean, he did throw him into that combat where Dracula probably was, but that could be a really good event he just threw away. Like I think that might be the big win of that fight was him getting rid of that event. But could be
Okay.
nothing.
Day fight with the Reckless.
Heavenly host him maybe is the plan.
I mean,
Well,
Godalming's
he
going to need
didn't
to
know.
supply back up anyway.
I mean, he didn't know what type of vampire it was. For all I knew, it was aristocratic. There hadn't been any ambushes.
True. He did day supply it though. It kind of implies he was looking for some sort of a fight.
Oh,
Yep.
there it goes.
So
And that,
now,
and that clears the room token.
well, this kind of so if Munich happens to be say a bat, that would give you an incentive to stay around Munich so that you can bat one of these hunters, which is not going to be well supplied, either Mina or Godalming, into another vamp if you could. Obviously, that's
Especially yeah,
risky because
maybe
Seward's
maybe
near
that's why he
you,
wants
but
to go to Milan.
that would be
Maybe
a good
that's why
reason
he
to go to
goes to
Milan.
Milan.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be a good reason to do that.
Also, like leaves Genoa open, so if you move from Milan, you could go to one of two different ports. Maybe like you get Mina if she's gonna rail to Genoa from 58.
Here's the
There's
thing:
options
even
here.
Seward doesn't really want to take. Okay,
Ooh.
aristocratic.
Aristocratic.
Okay. Even Seward, especially now that he just lost a stake, doesn't want to take a 1v1. And if you get a 2v1, Godalming's not threatening, Helsing's not threatening, only Mina is kind of threatening.
When he's back up to 15 HP and there's no Agatha. Notably, Strider's also day searching now. Like he's using his day actions to search encounters. That is what you want him to be doing with his day actions as Dracula. He's not supplying, he's not moving, he's searching, which I think maybe Strider's got a little bit he's got a little bit of fear. He's a little worried about what the plan is with these encounters.
Rightly so, because they're enraged in such a way that they could be deadly, to you.
Mm-hmm.
So now This is a good time to double check the discard. We've lost a horse. We have 3 stakes gone. We have 2 heavenly hosts gone. We have 1 knife gone.
Yeah, it's okay. He'll get to.
Ooh, lucky draw, and it's Genoa. Okay.
Okay, that friends him hiding, as I was gonna propose he might want to do.
Dracula's actually kind of okay with that. Like, it's not ideal he should be out there, but I think there are times when there are times when a hired scouts could have been a lot more damaging than that was right now.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of okay.
I agree. Get that out. Get that out of the way now. So now you go to
Pretty
Marseille.
bad, but not terrible. Yeah, he
Right.
probably goes to Marseille. Could go to Milan if there's a bat in. Oh no, Munich's been cleared, so no longer a bat. So probably goes to Marseille.
Right.
'Cause-
You're not going to face a dangerous.
Because
I mean, I guess if Mina has another chartered carriage, you could face a
that'd be the
dangerous
last
2v1.
one.
yeah, that would
There's
be
But
the
I
only
mean,
one
charter
left.
carriage.
So that probability is rather low for that.
yeah,
Uh,
or a sense of emergency. I think you still
Hmm.
do it. Go to Marseille. If you have a fog, you might place a fog. If not, maybe a mob would be good there, or a fighting vamp. You know, something that will be somewhat protective. You can do in Marseille.
Yeah, because
If
the
you
problem
feel
if you
really
don't go to
comfortable,
Marseille
do a
today,
bat.
they cover it. They cover Marseille if you don't go there today, right? So like you go Milan and then you can't go to Marseille tomorrow because they're probably going to cover it, and that leaves your movement options as not being incredible. He's going to see.
I actually don't hate that. Because the hunters may have to just stay here for a little, but then they don't completely hate that because Goldami needs to resupply. Steward, I possibly just got junk with that first resupply for the stake.
You know,
Uh,
you know what I might like here is landing in. I was gonna say landing in Naples, but I guess there's some CG risk there. If there's
Hmm.
no CG, that would actually be kind of clutch.
oh,
Ooh, the evil presence.
you wanted to try to say that for tomorrow.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't have any importance. I might like to see him go back to his layers. He's got a lot of layers in Eastern Europe that he could just run over to. I don't know if they have good things in them. That could be a problem.
Fetching Rufus back. Okay. Do you land at Cagliari then? And then just go to Med and then go to.
The
Terminus is
evil
pretty lucky
presence.
getting all these drawn now.
Lucky for
And these are
Terminus.
the Mystic Research supplies. So this is a good time for Strider to do these Mystic Research supplies. So I definitely commend that.
That is every
Terminus is
proximity event. They're all gone.
all with this Mystic Research. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Goodness, that. Yeah, as you say, that's now all the proxy events gone. 3 of which only just happened. Uh, when he could have potentially tried to save that for tomorrow. I mean, he wasn't to know, of course, but that
So let's
must
see.
feel
Does he go CAG?
rather that will definitely feel rather annoying for him, won't it?
So CAG is nice because it's
Strider's
annoying to go to, but
I considering
it
while it wasn't
reveals
in
you
the
direction.
edit,
You
I
know,
would probably just move on. You won't need to get ahead of them. Uh,
although if Venice is a vamp and he thinks he can get Turanian to clear, CAG would be better in that situation. But I'm not sure he's going to get there because there is still 1 stake that was outstanding before the reshuffle.
Yeah, and speaking of the reshuffle, Strider has been doing me proud. He is very well supplied. Like we are not at the end of the second week, and he's already almost halfway through the event deck. Probably because of that really good mystery research he had. But he's also just been like he's been supplying. So he's well supplied. I think that Terminus might find himself in a
yeah.
sticky spot when he does decide to land.
The cat the counterweight to that is that he's been a little bit, I think, too liberal with his events. Uh,
Well, certainly burning the initial renewed vigor would be pretty liberal with events. I really do wish
yeah,
Terminus had gone to Marseille there, though. It seems like it would have been fairly safe. Or wolfed or something.
Keep
Um,
him moving
Well,
around.
wolf to Clermont-Ferrand or Toulouse and then
he,
go.
he didn't have Wolf available
He had to
yet
wait 1 day
until
for the wolf form, I
Oh,
think.
you're
So he
right.
could have wolf formed from
yeah.
Marseille, which would have been good. But
Okay, I get it.
don't ambush. Let him search it. Yeah. Good job, Terminus. Okay.
Parker.
Jonathan Parker. It's kind of a dead draw at this
Lol.
point.
Yeah, Terminus is getting lucky with all these find the Drac cards getting drawn when you can't find the Drac.
Does bring his second surprising return online, so we can now use that to search with Harker, but that's about its only use at this point.
Either that, or you find an Aggie and search with her first before summoning her
Ooh,
back.
I really hope. Okay, she's moving to Genoa.
Makes sense.
But if he's
Let him
going to
search.
Ionian Sea,
It does make Ionian more
but
attractive.
on the other hand, they're not too far away.
Like he wolf forms Sophia today. I mean, it is a lair, so that would reveal it. Actually, still has a saboteur on it now that I'm looking at it. Well, that's the last stake.
It is the fog.
Fog.
Well done not ambushing when you don't need to.
Mhm.
That's going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
very helpful.
if you want the fight, you don't have to fog. Like, if you want that fight.
Yeah, and who else was going to
Mina
get
could have
in?
gotten in. Yeah, if Mina had gotten in, maybe then you fog if Mina shows up with surprising return or something. Or not surprising return, sense of emergency or something.
Yeah. Because you can't both get there and
Salonica, Sophia's
have
grab.
forewarned.
He's clearing out a lair. Sophia still has 2 encounters because the saboteur never got removed. He has updated the layers. Sophia has been kept as a grab's been ditched. I really hope he lands today. I think the sea movement might be a little bit risky
He might want
and
to.
not gain a lot.
Honestly, I might want to clear all the layers just to create some obfuscation about my landing space.
Like wolf forms to Valona or something
Well,
weird. And
obviously
then
not
he
clear Munich, but clear Sophia or Salonica.
He has not done that, but he has wolf formed.
Hmm.
I think he's in Valona. I think he will form to Valona, and he's gonna move to his lairs once they've like money trail or whatever, and figure out where he is. Like make them spend the resources to find him, and then get the benefit of all of his lairs.
Yeah, question is,
There's the money trail.
do they have it?
No.
He went
Mediterranean.
west. That's good.
Okay.
Um,
Chill.
because I will say Valona is a barely, but still a CG hotel spot. Although I guess in this case it wouldn't quite be that because he could go to Adriatic. That would honestly be worse than a true CG hotel, honestly.
It would mean that he'd have to land either in Venice or in
And Genoa is vampire.
His day searching is paying off. He's not having a night fight. He would have an escape route, so he could just escape route here, and night fight wouldn't have happened.
Night Vader have another hunter join. Even a poorly armed hunter is good at 2v1ing a new vamp.
Yeah, the wolf form from the Med is definitely like a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power move.
And I probably would have gone somewhere like Clermont-Ferrand or Geneva while they're still busy clearing your last couple things here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, you can get to multiple ports that way if you get someone close to you. You can put a spy there, maybe. Small city. Okay.
Fangs and dodges. Okay.
Gotta love the turn 1 dodge.
He's a turn 1 dodger, this Strider guy. This is also both of the new vampires. Admittedly, his encounter deck is about to reshuffle. Maybe a good thing that he used that fog so that he can shuffle it back into his deck.
If I were him, I might try to place another fog. That'll get reshuffled back in.
Like he moves back to Marseille, maybe, and fog's there, and like hopes to kill a hunter and like prolong combat.
Yep, it was escape.
That would be pretty good here. The top part is with all the supplying, they might have a forewarned.
Yeah, and it's really high risk because you can't go back to the med. So maybe you do that plan like in Bordeaux or something, where you have a backup, like I go to C if I'm in a bad
Yeah,
spot.
I think that's right.
Well
Okay, nice
played.
Nice.
strength, nice strength.
Vampires having none of it.
Applauding also would have been reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Shows that Strider's trying to kill this vampire. He's not trying to leave, which is it's going to be tough killing a new vampire even during the
Another
day.
dodge.
Yes. Mina's not into that. She doesn't want to get fanged by this vampire. It's like, no, no, no. My husband like just showed up like a few days ago. Stay back.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Mina's finally had enough. I think that's a good call by Strider.
That was a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. 2 points. That was a lot of
Yep.
work for 2 points.
And her day action. I mean,
And a day action. That's true. That's true. Now, I would say if I'm Terminus, if I can do this, we haven't seen any soil yet. So if Terminus could lay down like a
Yeah.
fog and multiple soil, that would be clutch because the soil could help you get it back. But you have to play the fog first, get them to land on the fog, then get them to land on the soil to help you get the fogs again.
true. Because your natural draw is a little bit slow if you're trying to get to like a 20 card a counter deck to get 2 fogs back. Takes a while to get it back.
I don't know if Terminus is bold enough to do this, but a fake Wolf Form to Marseille, and then like walk around and lay some like soil in Clermont-Ferrand and Toulouse would be just glorious here.
The problem is if I feel like Marseille is gonna get walked into for like movement, and I feel like it would get found out pretty fast.
Right.
Kind of similar to how Munich got found out because it's high traffic.
No, that's true.
Like, I agree. If like a wolf form to like that area, like maybe he wolf forms like I don't know 60, but then moves back to 24 or something, could be quite good. I just if you're trying to be sneaky, you don't want to step on the high traffic spaces because you'll get found by accident.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if you can, I, I know I probably put too much stock in this, but if you can get your fogs to go off and be useful, and then get them reshuffled and drawn again, that's just so powerful.
It's a lot of value. Yeah, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it's possible to do in this circumstance.
I think it's very possible. I mean, he's got a little bit of time left to trigger the second fog effectively, and he's got a little bit of free space to move because they don't seem to know where he is. They're kind of still like just in a holding pattern of supplying, which I love. I love supplying as hunters, and they have plenty of time to do so because the only real threat is this new vampire.
Yeah, maybe you put down like put on a spy or something in Clermont-Ferrand or Toulouse, fog in Bordeaux, and then do some soils after that until you have to leave. Maybe that's the optimal play. And it's possible that that could be the play here because I don't think we've seen any spies. I don't think we've seen any soil. We've obviously seen the
True.
one fog.
We have seen neither.
And the nice thing about like trying to optimize for the fog is that I don't think we've seen behind the veil yet. So if you can get some value out of it and then they
No.
get behind the veil and they don't take a fog, even better.
Interestingly, he got rid of his Munich lair instead of either of his east ones in favor of Venice, which I think is interesting. I think Munich is a pretty good layer spot, but maybe he has no intention of going back east this game.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a card that he wants reshuffled back in. Maybe
That's fair.
maybe it's like a fighting vamp or something, and he thought that a lot of people would land on it, and now they're probably not.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay, don't ambush.
Yeah,
Force them to fight it at
make Mina
night.
search it. Make Mina day search again. Make her use more action. Oh,
hmm.
Mm.
I mean, I guess if Mina delays, that's also her day action.
It's the same effect.
Could be a stake
It's the
too.
same thing. It's mostly the same effect.
Okay, so
She is
there's a
not.
stake here.
Okay, so then this was the right thing to do. Good job, Terminus.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a tricky call as to whether you ambush or not, but looks as if it was the right call.
I mean, and damage on Van Helsing is quite good because I mean he does have the least HP. He also his night actions are in high supply because people want to be trading their items around like before warns.
Alright. Typical Vandal.
There's also a good time to start putting on some more vamps because we're in week 3 already.
True, he's got 2 reckless left to throw down, I believe.
He might, if Terminus can get a vamp to mature, he might get himself to a sail to win scenario. Well, I guess it's not going to be a pure sail to win scenario, but I guess no, a reckless would be 10. Yeah, he could get to a Pirate Jack sail to win scenario if he can mature a rumor vamp.
Yeah, he's still got Route 2 Rumor Tokens. I wouldn't be shocked if like these 2 encounters are both just vampires and he's just been like putting them out there.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense as well. Then he could just keep a hold of his fog, which again runs the risk of getting behind the veiled away, but you know, if it doesn't, you're saving it for a time that is useful and putting down vamps that could help you win the game.
See that stake from Van Helsing. No. Just Mina? Is he going to trade items and give Mina a stake? Because he wanted to trade something else at the same time, maybe?
Because he wants Van Helsing to move next turn. I don't know. I don't understand this. Or maybe he doesn't want to deal with this and he wants to. Oh, he's just taking
I
a
think he
ticket.
plans to just take it by day tomorrow
Letting it
Fight
because
it.
mature is kind of bad.
while Mina is still here. Letting it mature would actually be playing bad because that would give him more form.
It would be very bad for us, and they would lose the opportunity to find the Wolfform location, which I think is massive here. Because if, like,
Yeah.
let's say it was 60 and it's knocked off the trail, then they have to, like, there's no way they're going to randomly search 41 and 51. Like, you got to find this Wolfform location. If you plan to let the vampire go, you can let it go. I think maybe that's defendable, although giving the Wolfform back is bad. But you need to find this Wolfform location. Like, you need to check 60 today if you're going to let the vampire go. I'm really scared of 60. I think that's the only location that would be really bad to get knocked off, because then he could have actually started going, like, east again, maybe. Like 60, 24. I would want to check those. Okay. The day action ticketing?
This is very strange.
He's used to supplying at night, so
He
now he's
must
getting
he must have
during the day.
lost one or more white ones and is just desperate to get them back.
Because
he doesn't-
that would be a reason.
Because he doesn't. Okay, we're staking.
Did they take him staking?
That's got to be what it is. He's got to be trying to do horse
Yeah.
economy, but doesn't have the last white one. Nothing else would make sense.
Hunters are all night owls. They're all like doing these supply actions at night. They're like waking up the storekeepers, and they're ticketing and stuff during the day. They're searching during the day. It's interesting.
I think that at this point he may just need to roll horses and just take the risk. He may just be a necessary evil at this point.
Yeah, there are 10 tickets in the pool, right? So if there is one white one, what are the chances you draw it, right? It's so low. It would never happen. Says every Fury of Dracula player ever.
Of course, this time, if you did draw the white one, it would be hugely detrimental to your game moving
Yeah,
forward.
it would be so bad. It would be so
You're
bad.
in the end game. You're in the last week
And,
before
well,
Fury mode.
Let's just say Strider already had quite a few experiences this tournament. With like, there was one game that he lost. Lost in the fourth round. Our Dracula game. He experienced the me of the horse killer situation. Twice in a row. Mina ended up rolling a white one. The moment a white one was available.
This would be a good time to feed. If you're on a port, if you're on like Santander.
Yeah, he could be in Spain right now. Like, he could just wolf form to Madrid, not mess around with the hunters, and now he's just like chilling in Spain.
At this point, you developed enough where I think that you can afford to do a feed.
Do a feed and then sail back east. You can if you want to. You don't need to sail east now.
Yes, but the question is, has he laid down soil to do that instead?
Layer check. He's gotten rid of a. He's kept Sophia around, probably because he doesn't want to redraw that Saboteur when he shuffles the deck.
Yeah, and that's the one that has 2.
Mm-hmm. If it has 2 trash encounters, keep it over 1. Speeding would also mean that his deck doesn't reshuffle for a day longer, which might be nice if he's looking to like get a fog played maybe, or get a vampire killed maybe.
I
That
just
could be a reason. Okay, he's moving.
okay. Interesting.
Fine. He could still feed
Well,
tomorrow. I mean,
he could. It's more Trout to deal with.
it's
Okay,
like
there's a
this.
rumor.
Killing Van Helsing just paid so many dividends. Like, it made it easier for him to get away. It also knocked out his ticket economy to the point where he's day ticketing. It did a lot.
Yeah, I
And I
think
mean,
that was a major mistake to send, because Mina had no way of getting there, and there's Aggie.
I assume we see it search.
Madrid.
yeah.
It is indeed Spain.
So he just went straight to
So
Spain. Yeah, go ahead.
Very safe.
yeah,
And now, he can go to South Atlantic. There's no more money trail. He can
at
choose
this
to
point I
go
think that
north or east.
at this point I think that that Schwartzing is at least for Seward is just a necessary evil. You need to get Seward in there.
Yeah. He's also still at 7 HP. He's never healed. I think these are just evidence of the fact that he's been ticketing at every opportunity and he still hasn't found this white one. He's at 7 HP from that like fight 10 years ago that happened in Munich. He's not even on the trail anymore, that fight, and yet Seward is still feeling that damage because his
Okay.
night actions have been ticketing, ticketing, ticketing.
One, 2, 3, 4, 6,
Make sure
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Number 16 on top. We're starting to get low on Dracovans.
If there's another renewed vigor, Seward could walk to Paris and then rail in. If there's a renewed vigor and a chartered carriage, or even if there's not, you can be
Well, there's
useful
only
that
one
way.
char carriage left.
but he's gone a lot of ways to the deck. I mean, he's only 27 left. He's got a lot of the
Yeah.
good events at this point. Probably,
Yeah,
you know.
I would guess that there's a reasonable chance he has CG, reasonable chance he has great strength now.
More ticketing.
It's sad there's 11 in the pool. You'd want to get it down to 8 so you maximize your chances of drawing that ticket. Like, adding more for movement, you have to do it because you need to move, but it's also making it less likely you're going to draw the important one out. And he's trading with Van Helsing.
Possibly giving it a sense of emergency so that he
He's
can make
not ticketing
distance.
with Mina. Did he get the ticket? He must have got the
That's
ticket.
That would make sense. Yeah.
quite possible.
So now, I'd be so tempted to feed here. Um, although again, since if there's a renewed vigor, that could be problematic.
Rufus makes the
Eh,
A to East plan expensive in terms of HP.
yeah, I would probably just go ahead and do one.
There's the feed.
Then
It's like
All
Vampire
right.
by on Alicante or something, maybe?
another reason to feed now
No renewed vigor.
is because we're getting towards the end of week 3.
Okay,
Sense of
Gadal make a sense of
emergency.
emergency.
If you're in Spain, you're preparing to leave. This is exactly what you want to see. You want all the hunters to be as
Yeah,
far into Spain as possible right now, because you're about to leave, right?
And
yeah.
they're gonna need to deal with this stuff.
Okay, it's a good roll. Good roll on the horse.
At least some of it.
He might not actually need that good roll if he wants to get onto the rail line.
He might even send Seward east. Nope, they're all going west. All right. This guy
Oh,
also,
Van Helsing has a horse.
surely he'll go east, right, Strider? You don't want to commit too hard to Spain. Oh, we're also going, okay. And Mina's gonna probably move to like Madrid today to deal with it, or maybe Alicante. She's not gonna move to Alicante. That'd be insane.
Oh,
Oh,
uh-oh.
Wow, there he is.
Well, he does have escape route, so this
May as
isn't the
well use
biggest
it.
deal.
Then you can see Mina's last event, which will be nice. Oh,
hmm
she's not using the escape route, probably because she doesn't want to show the last event.
well, she wants to save it for the
She
Dracula
wants to
fight, right?
save it for the Drac fight, not for
That makes
this.
sense. If it is a combat event, yeah. Or maybe
She
she
wants,
wants, or maybe she wants to try to kill this vamp, and then use the escape
well,
route on the Drac fight. Is that what you were saying?
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
She
that's
definitely wants to use it on the
that's what
Dracula. She
we
doesn't
were
want Dracula
saying.
to escape as bad here, right? Escaping as bad Dracula would be very bad for her.
Oh, nice.
That's important, right?
That's a
Seven.
Yeah,
point.
That's one
that's off
fewer.
one day.
That's one fewer. Yeah, Fury movement.
Yeah, the 3 to 4.
Very important point.
Yeah,
I'm scared of the knife here as the vampire. I'm scared.
Yeah, you must
Knife.
want to play strength if you can, huh?
I would do Mez next since he just did punch.
Problem is, she might like just have heavenly host today in the anticipation of you being scared of the knife.
Well, then let her discard it. Make CG less powerful.
Ooh, good.
Nice, mesmerize the knife. Now if you get hit with that, you're not gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then even if they tries to escape, you still like cancel it. So mesmerize is definitely the better of the two if you have it,
Now do
unless
you
she plays heavenly host, of course.
now do you plot here? Do you use another combat card?
I
I think
think
Mina
you
escapes this
plot
round.
actually
I,
because I
You're
think
not
that
gonna
you're
die.
ahead enough where you can risk it.
Okay.
Because I was expecting that, honestly.
yeah, I thought
Because
she'd get out of here. I didn't think she'd want to keep fighting.
in Strider's position, what you expect is is another Fang to catch you on your way out, and you don't want to give him a second point.
Yeah.
So that's why you dodge.
How's he gonna kill it now with that? With his
Oop.
knife's not gonna do it.
Escape.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
not. He's gonna escape next.
Well, the point was big.
Mm-hmm.
Now do we see
Yeah.
the escape, or is that second card something like heroic leap or planned ambush or
Well, even
something?
ooh, that's true. Heroic leap would be good here. Especially that preventing that 2 points of damage would be crucial if it is heroic leap.
Okay,
Okay.
it's the escape
Escape,
route.
escape route. And what's her last event?
It is.
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Not useful.
And
Well,
since they've already spent money trail, that'll be big because chances are he's heading to sea.
He'll
yeah,
hope he has
most
second speed
definitely.
telegraph to do it first. Otherwise, he'll have to spend a whole day not knowing before he'll do it as Mina's action. But we'll see.
Hmm.
There's no way he stays on land today, right? That'd be insane.
Unless he has a fog in hand to lay down and is willing to risk forewarns. No.
Well, yeah, he leaves today, right? And then he can move 2 sea spaces. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he can then wolf form to land and start getting points. And then they also have to deal with like at least 2 vampire. I mean, I guess they can only be at most 2 fighting vampires because that's all he has left in his hand. Plus whatever other encounter.
I think the way I would go about this is I would go to CAG. You wouldn't score points with the initial CAG one, but then you can hide at CAG and just score a few points that way. And then take another sea voyage to the east.
I feel like I maybe have a slightly different mind than you, but I see that plan.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I'm if I'm gonna go to Terrania, then wolf to Bari, and then hide in Bari. We'll see.
I kind of want him to capitalize on this time because they all did go west, right? Like I feel like the benefit of that is if he immediately bolts for an extremity, they're gonna have to move all the way over there to find him. Even if they figure out, like, let's say they bank on him being in the east, if he goes there immediately, they have to like immediately move there. And it looks like they're still going into Spain today. Like get on land as soon as you can and get those points. Madrid.
Bats. Okay, so he can bat him into a night fight with the Santander vampire.
That's gotta be the play here, right? Ooh,
Yep.
bad horse.
Oh.
The thoroughbred of sin strikes again.
And he's not going east, he's going to Bordeaux.
Do you all know that thoroughbred of sin reference?
I don't.
No.
I'm uncultured.
No, it's that is a reference to Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, where there's a character named Bad Horse, the thoroughbred of sin.
Mm.
It's funny. Yeah, that's a oldie but a goodie. That's
Does
old
Mia
YouTube.
search this reckless to try to kill it so that he can't bat him into it?
We'll see
Mm.
if she. Oh, she's horsing. Then yeah, you're
I
gonna
like this better, I think.
yeah
Assuming she's starting to go east.
This
find
is
out
going
what
to
else
be
is there.
Cadiz more likely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah. So the rumor is at Lisbon.
Try to deal with this trail more efficiently. Makes sense.
Imagine Cadiz's fog and he pushes Godalming into it and then triggers it.
Um,
That would be good.
you might not want to
Mine's-
move him into the vamp because you might kill the vamp. Maybe move him to Granada. Oh,
Yeah, but it's a night fight, and it's a chance to get uh a double point from on Fang if you manage to get a bite.
and ambush.
Find
There
the
you go.
ambush.
Ooh.
So that's his last event.
So this will
And that's
make
one.
this quicker.
That's one more card, or that cannot be a CG.
So now you play Mesmerize if you have it, and he
So
will have to kill you with a Heavenly Host.
Right, because he has a knife. Do we know? We know he has a knife, right? Or he had one a while ago. I think he and Seward met up.
There you go. That's the play.
all
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Does he spend the H, or does he even
Probably
have one?
does. I think I would if I was him, depending on how many stakes I have over here, because I don't know how else you're gonna kill these vampires.
It
Oh,
also depends on whether or not he in particular has one.
Now, I think that Strider's going to try to kill this, and the fact that he did escape first rather than punch first is meant to signal to Terminus that Strider wants to escape, even though he
Well,
doesn't.
he's mind gaming him.
I bet that's that Strider's probably thinking. Um, but this means there's probably no heavenly. Oh, that's interesting.
oh, that's actually pretty good.
Nice to get it down on him. So now a
See,
gun by itself won't kill him.
and I think that is what Strider's probably hoping would happen. Claw.
Now he's
Claw,
down to claws.
and he's
Oh,
escaping.
okay, escape. Okay.
But nonetheless, Skuldaming is now pretty battered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he did want to escape. All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So but since he wanted to escape, that seems to say that he doesn't have a heavenly host, or if he does, he's saving it for CG power.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit. Rook's saying Che is committing really hard to Spain, and he is. I think maybe he's committing a little bit too hard to Spain.
Okay, analyzing what Cadiz is, perhaps, or deducing. It's a
It's a
hoax.
hoax, so you probably want to deal with
So
that. You probably want to stop that.
Interesting.
yeah, but that's going to be 200 delayed tomorrow. So none of them will be able to address Lisbon immediately, but fortunately they do have time.
Mhm.
Now the key question is
So
Lisbon a vamp or is it
I would
fake?
assume so.
I
I
think it's
would
that
think
last
so,
reckless, right? It's that last reckless that we haven't seen yet.
but it could be a fog or something meant to lure the hunters in.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, probably a vamp. Terminus probably wants to be a vamp.
At this point, I don't. At this stage of the game, I don't think you waste time with fake rumor tokens, unless
If you could catch him in a double fog or something.
unless they're close up. Uh, yeah, Rufus is going to be a bit of a nuisance, but
Yeah, it's a good thing he fed before he left. You can still kind of weather the storm a little bit. You can go
I
to
mean,
9 and then go to 7.
I will say the thing about the fake rumor token, and again, I think it's probably a vamp. A vamp would probably make the most sense here. But if you lure the hunter there trying to kill the presumed vamp in Lisbon, and let's say Strider only sent one hunter because he didn't want to overcommit to Spain, he might not be able to get to Santander after that. That might
Uh-huh.
that might be reason to do the fake rumor token. If you think that he's going to send only like one hunter or maybe two to deal with the trail. Oh,
Let's say, I don't
again,
know,
I still think of Vamp as the most likely, but
let's say Seward's the guy with stake here. He sends Seward to Lisbon because he thinks Seward's the guy who's gonna have to deal with it. That would be pretty big if
yeah,
he was the guy with stake.
especially if he
Granted, I think his
searches it and it's a fog, because then you have 2 more turns after that.
I think one way or another, I would move Med as Drac.
You have to.
I
you
mean,
could go England turn and
unless
be okay,
unless
but
you
I
go
think I
North
agree.
Atlantic, North Sea, then go into like Leipzig, uh, with wolf form, with how hard they're committing to Spain. Gluttony and
Make
Mina
this
aren't moving.
make as much distance as you can. I might even be tempted to go all the way to Ionian before I landed, just to be all the way in the east.
You
But
are
I could
rather
see,
weakened then.
yeah, Bari also makes sense. I think Bari is probably what we're gonna see. The issue with Bari is there's some chance if he starts moving east today, he could maybe catch you, but he is not doing that. Okay.
I think that given that that's the case, I would land at CAG, and then hide to get your first batch of points.
Well, why not just go straight to the mainland though? Like, why do you want to land in Keg?
I mean it just to be a bit safer and to preserve your wolf form for going to the east. Uh,
Mhm.
Basically, it's somewhere to spend time while you finish getting to the FOD to the fourth week.
I think I could see it like if he had more points. Like if it was like I'm gonna land in Keg and get 3 points for my hide, and then go to sea again, and then as soon as I land, I win. But I feel like right now the hunters are really out of position, and I think he wants to get on land as soon as he can, just to make them not.
Yeah, so wolf form to like Milan, Zurich, something like that.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
even think he lands today. I think he waits one more day until he gets points.
I think so too. And if you land now, the hunters can kind of guess where you're at and might not use
Ooh.
that is interesting.
This
Might
this is
not use
yeah.
the hypnosis. You want the hunters to use the hypnosis because it'll take up some time.
Yeah, the fact that Seward's mesmerized means that if he lands a Fangs after this, it'll heal him up to full.
I quite like that plotting. I
Yeah,
like it.
I do like that one. Because you know that Seward means business here. Uh,
hmm
and that being said, he does have a stake.
Presumably. I don't know why else he would send him in here if he didn't have stake.
Okay,
Okay,
there's your
so
point.
Bakari's
There's your
gonna.
heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unlikely to be relevant. That 1 point, I mean, unless he gets one more.
Yeah, one more would be great for vamp layer protection. Tough to get, but
Yeah,
possible. I presume you
Kansas
plot here
City's.
again if you have it. If not, you probably strength.
He might punch. I feel like Stewart's gonna punch today. Because he's fine with taking damage. I think he's not fine with the plot into a second Fangs.
Should might also burn a host here.
True. If he's just like, I'm done with the vampire, I'm gonna post it.
I want to move towards Drac when he lands. I need to move towards Drac when he lands. I need to get rid of this vampire. Just do the host. He's already played a Fang. He might not have the other one. Okay,
okay.
makes sense.
So we were wrong, he dodged. That's fine. I do think he's shown an aversion to using his host. Like he didn't use one with Godalming to kill that other vampire. Maybe because he didn't have one on Godalming, but I feel like maybe he definitely has CG. I think that's why we haven't seen any of them because he's holding them for the CG. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I can see that. Oh, there's another Fang.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Oh, and
oh.
no
Yep.
knife. Now he's
Okay, so now
vampire
Vampire
proof.
Lair won't make a difference.
Terminus has
In
been playing these combats quite well.
yeah,
He's
hmm
been really wringing as much value as he can out of each of these vamp combats.
and now on top of that, if this rumor token vamp matures, that's game.
I like that by Van Helsing. Somebody's got to go east. You got to put some sort of pressure on him so he doesn't just like go to Bari and start getting points. I mean, he could even wolf over to Venice here. Venice is a layer, right? He could just go to Venice and be layered up. with something, because there could be like he could have put a fog in Venice or something, and that's why we haven't seen the second one.
Oh,
Fighting it
taking this one. I hope Seward has a stake too.
Yeah, I think they both have stakes probably. They supplied for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Spain cleared.
Mm-hmm. At great cost, though. They all moved far into Spain. Like Seward and Mina are very deep into it. Godalming maybe a little bit less so, but like Dracula's gonna land, if not today, tomorrow.
Yeah, that cost him a lot of time. And he gained, I think, 3 points off of the vamps there.
Oh yeah, because 3 reckless bites. That's pretty massive.
Yeah. So that saved him a full
You're so
day's
far
worth.
away. Maybe you do just wolf today.
Yeah, that saved him a full day's worth of time.
Certainly, if you went north, you could just wolf to Dublin.
29, maybe. Maybe you don't want to go 29 if you think that's too risky.
I wouldn't wolf to Dublin.
I want to be somewhere where I can move enough to win the game without having to go back to sea. Like that's my ideal at this point. Is I want to wolf form somewhere where I have enough sea land movements that I can just like not worry about the sea anymore. That would be my goal, but see if Terminus is a different plan.
If he went North Atlantic, then I would go English Channel, I suppose, and then go to Britannica. I
feel like wolf forms to Swansea here. That's quite good.
Yeah, precisely.
There's no excellent weather that's been revealed yet, though, so we could get excellent weather. Maybe that's a reason to wolf form today, is you think that they will automatically go to Keg. Maybe they will think it's a Keg wolf form, like a fake wolf form to Keg.
If you wolf form to Genoa here, and then they hypnosis next turn and realize you're in Italia, and then you walk to your lair in Venice, depending what's in there, that could be quite powerful. You could set up like a nice defensive barrier in Venice, and you're also on a sea you can move to if you need to.
In truth, that's probably not likely to be anything good.
No, but it might scare them a little bit.
And the fear.
And you could put something good in it, right? You could put your fog there, you could put another vamp there, and they will have already known you are in Italia at that point. It would be post hypnosis, so
the risk of wolf forming onto land is that he will, if he like wolf forms to, let's say, Barrier Venice, and then he has to go back to sea, he will not be able to wolf form to land again, which means that he will get got very good by a CG no matter where he lands, most likely. I think that's the issue with like if he blows his wolf form too soon and then gets found out and has to go back to sea, because going to sea looks like it's safe, but I don't think it's actually that safe. I think if you have to go back to sea here, it's very bad for Dracula because he can just get CG'd out of wherever he lands.
Yeah, he would need to wolf in this theory I'm out. He needs to wolf to Milan or Genoa, then move to Venice, then hide there. So I do see that might not be. I mean, there could be enough movement amongst the hunters to make that dangerous. I don't know.
Like the sea is not quite the refuge it once was, with the Rufus patrolling the waters and CG probably on the horizon. I mean, you still want the sea, don't get me wrong. Being at sea means that if you do get CG'd before you go to sea, it means you can just go to sea and not have to worry about like being forced into an awkward land movement. But if you get forced to sea without CG, probably gonna have a hard time landing with it. If Strider has it, I assume he does. He's been playing like he has it, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
He hasn't been night supplying like he would be if he didn't have it.
Yeah, and
but
with
in
3
any
people
case,
over in Spain,
if you can get 2 Fury moves, then the sea is totally safe.
True, you like land it. Yeah, then you just land and win for sure. If you could like, that's why I kind of want him to like stay at sea today, because he's not getting points today. I want like him to only land when he gets points off of it.
Yeah, and the thing is that to be realistic about England, you have to move 3. So I would go to Terranian if you're. I would go 1 more sea space, and then wolf form shore.
Terminus is thinking long and hard about it.
Maybe he's thinking about whether to stop at CAG or not. There's a lot to think about here.
I mean, if he's in North Atlantic, maybe he's like, which of these 3 sea spaces provides the best obfuscation? I guess Money Trail is gone, so he's not going to get Money Trail, but he's probably going to get Hypnosis.
Right. There is
I
hypnosis
would
because it's on
imagine
Mina
so.
now. Hypnosis is on Mina now, so we know there's hypnosis. Fortunately,
Although
the
again, we got
Yeah,
newspaper. How many newspapers are out? Because those
they're all
newspapers
all
gone.
of them.
One
all of
got
them.
discarded and 2 got used. There's no newspapers here.
So that's because newspapers would also, I guess, not this turn reveal anything, but next turn could. Yeah. So I guess you're right. There's no way to reveal this C space. He's not going to get found. His direction's not going to get found until.
Wolf.
Wolf forming. Okay.
Okay.
Got a lot on the line here. Like, this is the knockout stage. He needs to win this game. I understand why he could kind
Yeah.
of think about that move.
Yeah.
So can he survive for 3 days? That's the question.
Yep.
Okay, there's no root vigor today.
That's a win in itself.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna start getting out of Spain now.
Apparently slowly.
Yes, the horse is not working in his favor.
Oh,
Does
and the
Stuart perhaps
wax
have the
cylinder
third
was used for
star
deduction.
carriage?
Wax cylinder is
You
used
know?
for deduction, so if he is in Dublin right now, like you could just hide and
Yeah.
it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Issue is you have to leave Dublin before you win, right? You
Uh,
can't, because you can't misdirect your wolf form location.
correct. So you would hide, go to 9, and then you would have to go to the Irish Sea.
You know,
Oh, well, he's found
another
me.
Hello.
1v1.
He did my Genoa plan, but it's
And
fog
it's got a fog.
and no for
I
warrant.
mean, that's
Okay,
a
so
pretty
that,
high
that means
point
that
there.
you can just lay down hide for 3 free points, and then you can go back out to sea if necessary. Depends on how well the others move during. Do you take the fight? I think the risk of
Ooh, it's
heroic leap is a
tempting.
little bit.
I think you go
I
to
think
no,
I
you go to
think
Venice.
I think the risk of heroic leap is a little too high.
Think of the Fang
Uh,
healing, you guys. You're that's probably the right call. That's probably the right call. It's maybe you killed him
um,
earlier, but he's a little bit
At
better
this
equipped
point, you go to
today.
Venice.
it
You go to
and it's
Venice.
not heroic leap. What about great strength too?
Yeah. Well, I don't
Uh,
think you kill him here, but like an escapist back could be really good. If you fang him and you heal off it, that's really good. I think maybe
yeah,
those
as that
arguments
speeds up,
versus.
as escape is bad to speed up the clock.
And you get wolf form back. It'd be pretty big. I think that's maybe a little bit of a pipe dream. I think he would probably just get heroic leaped, and it would be sad. Probably would happen. And then I would be like, how dare he take that fight? He could have avoided it.
Yeah, if everyone's gonna be holding on to the heroic leap, it's gonna be Van Helsing.
So what does he do from here?
Uh,
Does he go to Venice? Because if he goes to sea from Venice, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go back to like CAG? Like,
I think because in
I'm
Venice,
landing at Valona. He could just land at Valona because even with full power CG, worst case scenario, he gets forced into Athens, and he will still have the high card left if
and
he
here's the
just goes
thing:
straight there.
no one can get to Venice this turn, right? There's no way
mhm.
any hunter, even
Without RV,
without RV, which would
and
have gotten played last turn, probably, right?
I don't think so. I think
Could have a
that's
sense of
you.
emergency, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Goldaming or Seward has a second sense of emergency, uh, or the last charter carriage, then one of them could get there.
Yeah.
Possibly both if they have one of they each have one.
The
I would
Venice
be
layer
pretty
has been
shocked if he got
removed.
more than. Oh, he removed Venice Layer? Okay.
Okay, well, honestly, I prefer the obscurity
I mean, yeah, if it's
rather
junk in
than
there, maybe he just wants to keep the hope alive that he could be going in any direction. There is some benefit to that.
definitely do not go to Florence though.
I mean, maybe that's exactly why you go to Florence, right? There's no way that you would go there, right? There's no way. 0% chance. It would be
Yeah,
real risky, but are they going to get to Venice to check it today? And even if they do check Venice, are they going to immediately be like, okay, because he didn't go Venice, it's Florence? They might be like, it's maybe Milan. Maybe it's 36. Maybe probably not 36. That would be pretty bad. Don't. I hope he didn't go to 36 here because they're going to run into him. What? They're supplying?
maybe
Hmm?
they don't have CG. Oh, charter carriage.
Last charter carriage, but he can't get to Genoa. He can get it to Milan, I suppose.
Yeah,
Which is a space he could have gone.
Yeah, true. Could have gone Genoa.
He needs to be in Venice.
I mean, if he is in Florence and they don't find him today and he actually gets to move to Rome, that would be so incredible.
Yeah.
Because if he gets past today and he gets into Rome, I mean, he's pretty safe there. He can like go to sea and go to like all the way east if he has to. He can go to Cag if he has to.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that means they'd stumble into Venice at some point and discover you're not there, and then you'd have to hope that you could get away. But the
Behind
ooh,
the veil.
that is not
Okay.
a great
Okay.
hand.
Nope.
Dracula's probably like, yes, take one of these cards. Give me another draw towards my fog.
I would take away this. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Buys
Rest
into the
is-
worst of those.
Okay, so she can. Ooh, but do you step into Marseille for a potential 1v1?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
no
you
way
do.
moving to Marseille. You can't be scared. You just got to run at him at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Now,
Because if he's in Marseille, his movement after that is not great, right? If he's in Marseille.
interesting question here. Does Strider CG now, hoping that he's in Florence, hoping it's a new player, maybe he won't know the CG nuke thing or whatever, or does
Terminus
he?
likely will have experienced that at some point or another.
Yes.
I think it's maybe a thought he has, but if he CGs now and he's not in Florence, I think that is the game. Because
And
then he
another
can just
note,
go to
not
sea
many
and
people
go to
know
Bologna.
this. Not many people know this particular note. Terminus is the least new of the four newbies. He actually was around for like a good month before the tournament began, so chances are he's run into that at some point or another.
I think it's unlikely Strider will fire off his CG like that. He's night supplying. He's definitely burned through his 5 night supplies by now, right? He was using them immediately after the
Yeah.
research.
Yeah. Let's see if he gives what he gives Terminus, if anything.
No, what he's
3, 4, 5,
yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that means
With
There's
17 on
QC's still
top.
on top. So at
7.
least with 8 out of 23. That's not terrible odds in night supply, actually.
Yeah. 8
Okay.
out of 24 at the time. So, like, precisely 1 and 3.
Yeah, third. I mean, can you just hide in Venice right now?
I don't
If you
know.
don't have fog, hiding in Venice is kind of scary.
I think you have to leave.
Yeah, I would go Adriatic now if you're at Venice.
Well, but then you
If
just get CP
not,
though, right? Like,
that forces you at worst to move one more C. And Bologna has 4 attachments.
but if they can force you to like 49, I feel like that's still pretty good. I guess no, at that point you just win. Actually, they have to get you that day that you land. So yeah, go to sea.
Yeah,
It's a great idea.
at that point it's just too late.
Yeah, you could even land in Bari if you're feeling frisky, but you probably land in Bologna because you don't want to get CG'd, and CG in Bari would be pretty bad. You'd die. You'd just be dead if you got CG'd in Bari, so probably not going to do that.
And because he didn't go to Turanian, he can do. He. Oh.
If he is in Florence, possibly he goes to Rome.
Here's the thing: he can't actually go 3 spaces and then land at CAG, or. Well.
He could.
He kind of
He
does need to go to
could,
Bologna.
but yeah, Bologna is just a safe spot. They had to
Yeah.
I
cancel
forgot how
you
many
that
points he
day.
has. Like, I think because he has 9 points, he can just go to Bologna and it's fine. Because they have to get him that day. They can't make him move into them in 49 and kill him. They will lose when he moves into them. Like, I was worried they'd move into 40. Like, he goes to Bologna, they CG him. He has to move, like, into somebody at 49, and it's really bad. But he's won at that point because he's already gotten 3 points. So, maybe you just do that?
He goes to Adriatic now. He goes to Bologna next turn. But Strider can get onto him with
Yeah, I think that
Seward.
to get all that much value out of CG, he had to fire it off today. Or if he goes to C tonight, Star needs to fire off the CG then. Put the permanent token in below to barricade that option.
That would be annoying.
Yeah. Meanwhile, moving the hunters down into the boot. At least some of them. So that if
He
he wants
must be in
to,
Venice right now, right? If he was in Florence, he would just go to Rome, presumably. He must be in Venice. Unless he's in Florence and he's like, I hide in Florence, they never find me. That seems crazy. This
It
is
does
not
seem
I
crazy.
wouldn't try that.
He has to go Adriatic. Like,
Okay.
one thing that is certain, I mean, for Strider is that if Terminus does take this, which is looking likely, but is not yet certain, then he will get to pick, presumably, Dracula for the last game, and for Terminus to advance and to face off against me, he'd have to win his Hunters.
right. Yep.
Which is no easy task for a Strider. That's something I failed at twice throughout the course of the league phase.
Farouk, I think
Although,
the hide in Florence would be really cool. I don't think it's actually gonna happen though, because the issue is if he, let's say he hides in Florence and he checks Venice with like Seward and he's not there, he's like, oh, then you must have gone to Rome. So he CGs, puts the first token in Rome. He's like, oh, he's not in Rome. He can still kill him with a CG nuke in Florence. So
yeah, and what's more, Mina can simply horse onto Florence. Van Helsing can simply walk onto Florence.
Well, I think Van Helsing might go to Rome, right? Because in this scenario, I think Seward is going to be the one who checks Venice first, probably, because he's the only one who can get there. I don't think Godalming will be able to do it. Unless I suppose he can take it in horse and do it, actually. So if Godalming discovers it, then it's even worse than I thought. It's super bad. Yeah, I would love Edruk too. I'm with him right that I would love that play. I don't think it's good. The problem is it's not good, right? If there was like a world where you could do a sneaky play and it would actually be okay, would be awesome. But the sneaky move here is just death. So you can't really do it, even though it would be cool.
I wonder if he's musing, do I go to Munich from Venice and stay on land?
Or does he think about hiding?
Yeah, because they would probably assume that that's a hide. Wouldn't they? That would at least
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Okay, Strider's just making sure the game hasn't frozen.
I guess
I
if you did go
assume
to
it hasn't.
Munich, yeah. Well, if you went to, Munich, like Seward's gonna, as you said, check Venice first.
All right.
Okay.
Does that mean it was Florence? Does that mean it's a hide? I don't know.
I mean, if he's at 12 points, if he could even get a Reckless down somewhere, he could win off a Reckless bite. Like, maybe the land move is not as crazy as it looks. Oh, nice rumor token.
Yeah, if he has a Reckless, then
Terminus is very studious. He had to look in his notebooks. He was like, I've looked at 13 billion options for how this next day can go. And this is the right one. It's the only one that I win.
Okay, Doctor Strange. Nice. Nice.
And no Renewed Vigor. He doesn't have the second Renewed Vigor. Look at this.
So
He would definitely play today.
If he is in Rome, I mean,
Yep.
it's Venice last turn, so this one is.
It looks as if I put my finger on it, because that diverts Seward from being able to fight you, and at this point you're too afraid of Forewarned, and apparently Van Helsing too.
Wow.
So now only Mina will be able to stop you.
Yeah, I guess because Mina couldn't get.
She's gonna get the fight though, and she does have a knife. You have 6 health.
No RB feels pretty bad here.
All right, it'll come down to this.
A Reckless would be cool.
It's a
mob. That'll damage her down a little bit.
She's gonna lose her horse.
Yeah.
She's gonna take 2. She's got a knife. What's her other card?
I mean, Dracula doesn't have to do anything but survive.
Right.
With 8 health, I think that Terminus has this.
What if the RV was the event that Van Helsing lost?
And there's no Agatha.
That'd be nasty.
That would be awesome.
He's at 8. I thought he was at 6. He's at 8.
He would have been if he went to sea.
With 8, I think he's pretty secure. He just has to.
Yeah, even if you get Heavenly Host and and
and
knife,
hit by the knife.
you're still not dead. There's no Agatha. If you do get a fang off, you're healing. Claw.
Claws? I'm not sure I agree with that one. You shouldn't be overly trying to kill Mina, but now she has confirmed that she has no anti-claw item. So if she plays her knife and you have the second claws, and you don't die to the knife, so that triggers great strength if she has it,
Now what?
and then you just keep
Strength?
attacking her.
Do
I mean,
strength
I
damage use
Uh,
plot?
the
I would do the claws if you have it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she has no anti-claw item, so he would have to dodge to
I think
simply
Mina's gonna
keep her
dodge this
alive.
turn. I think Mina's dodging this turn. That's my guess.
Strength. Went with punch.
Okay.
So now you just claw. Uh,
You can claw, you can strength, you can
try
mesmerize.
try to well time a claw.
Just do anything but Fang, really. Just do not Fang. Bad idea. Like, even a
Yeah.
plot here would be fine. Like, a plot probably guarantees his win, because if he plots
Yes.
and then,
In
like,
fact, that is true.
Yeah, plot. Plot, then take the oh, mesmerize. Okay.
Mesmerize.
this is also
that's
fine.
that's fine
Dodge.
too. And now just
Escape is missed.
just or just attack with a claw and she dies, even if he has great strength.
Yeah.
Dodge
The
is
real
only counter
Claw is
to
an instant win. Escape is a win. A missed is an instant win.
The gamer move is you Fang for the HP for the IDS, even though it doesn't matter.
Strength.
But he's not doing that. He's just
strength.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do it
You have
too.
great strengths.
And
He
there
doesn't
was
have great
GG.
strength either.
there was no great strength. So GG, you well played.
Terminus takes the win as draft.
Terminus takes the win. Congrats on forcing round 3.
Yeah. Seward would have gotten it.
Forcing
Second. Yeah.
round
That's
no CG.
He's
bad
really got
luck.
to. He's really got to regret not. He's really got to regret using that renewed vigor so early. It's not a lot of value out of that.
I think he was more scared. That first encounter, I think maybe he was like, "This
Yeah,
is books. I
Terminus
need to be
is-
sure I get onto it." But
I think that the big decider of this was Van Helsing's death. That lost them a horse. That lost them a mystery event.
Wow, an aristocratic. Probably the worst thing you could possibly put there. That's too funny.
Like, I'm so confident you're not going to move into me. I'm going to put the worst encounter.
Yeah, and apparently he was right to worry about, even if it had been a fog, he was right to worry about Forewarned, because apparently both Seward and the VH were equipped with that.
That's
So
too funny.
he had Vampire Lair, but that wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you realize that this time, unlike another time.
I need to go to bed. That's fair.
Yeah. All right. The battle for facing me continues.
Yep.
The others
no,
are
he doesn't-
determined, but
I would
I'm
call it.
apparently the most desired opponent of all.
I would call it exceedingly unlikely that I'll be able to stream their last one. This will probably be my last stream for a while, but I'm glad to have seen this and look forward to finding out what happens in the deciding match of these three. See which one of them moves on. It was a very hard fought game. Very hard fought.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Yeah. Well done, Terminus.
Well, all right. I think this is it's pretty darn late here for all of us. I think we'll probably close this out. Any last words? Any last thoughts?
No, we'll see when the game is scheduled, sometime over the next 5 days. And I'll make sure I'll watch it so long as I can.
Terminus fan club strong. It's not out of it yet. Kicking.
Yeah. The new player, first time tournament manager, gets not only makes the knockout phase, but gets his first win of the knockout phase. So very impressive.
Yeah.
Look forward to see what round 3 holds.
Yeah, Strider does get first pick. Strider does get pick of side, which will likely be Dracula in truth. So he will have that small advantage, in that Terminus will have no choice over what side he plays. But then again, for all we know, he'll equip Terminus into the hunters where they get like a perfect draw.
All right then. Well,
Yeah,
with that, thanks all for
we'll see.
watching. Thanks to the participants for the great game. Thanks to Aruk in the chat and to Weircraft and Terminus is now in the chat, as is kind of his MO. Welcome to the chat, Terminus, as we're about to close out. Congrats. And that's all for now. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time.